These are both yogurt. Got some Greek yogurt, and you have some homemade regular yogurt. And as much as I want to eat these, which I will, I want to talk about them, and I want to share a little bit of research that I've done about yogurt, and specifically I want to share the biblical roots of yogurt. So let's go ahead and just dive right on into that today. I do have a cup of tea with me today. If you're new here, my name is Brianna, and I like to use YouTube as a platform to share life with other people. And by sharing life, I share my habits, my minimalism, my Bible studies, my teas or beverages. I share tips on frugality and homemaking and all sorts of things. So if any of that interests you, definitely join in on doing life this way. And so with doing life, we all have to eat, and I really love food. I mean, who doesn't? But I really love traditional foods. These could be dishes that your great-great-grandmother has created and passed on through the generations. Those are traditional foods too. But I'm speaking in this video of foods that are a part of history even. And yogurt is one of those foods. So I'm bringing yogurt, which is a biblically historical food, and putting it into modern day times, which is where we're at now. And to me, it's so fascinating that yogurt is such an old traditional food, and yet through all of these years, it really hasn't changed. It just really hasn't. The process of making yogurt hasn't changed. Maybe the flavor has changed, especially depending on what kind of milk you end up using, because you could use sheep's milk, goat's milk, cow's milk. I'm sure there's like camel's milk that gets made into yogurt or something. But the point is that the process is relatively the same as it was even back in those biblical days. So, to get us started though, there's a couple of verses in the Bible that specifically refer to yogurt. And it depends on your translation, I guess, because there are some translations that use the word curds, and curds are our modern day word for curds is yogurt. So there are some translations that do specifically say yogurt. So those verses would be like Isaiah 7:22, where the Lord is speaking and he says, "They will eat their fill of yogurt and honey." And he's talking about the Israelites who are not in the promised land right now. They've been put into exile for now. But he's kind of making the promise that, like, yes, you will get your abundance in your promised land, and that abundance is going to include yogurt and honey, which is a delicious snack that we still eat today. I'll put a couple of other Bible verses in the description for you to be able to look up on your own. There are several others. Probably one of the most other famous ones is in Genesis 18, verse 8, where Abraham serves the three lords who if you haven't heard this already, are supposed to be the Trinity, which would be God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. But he serves the three lords, and one of the things that he serves them is yogurt. And he serves it in this like lordly bowl, which is just like a representation of the hospitality part of yogurt. And I want to list some of those links or some verses in the description for you so that you can see for yourself that yogurt is in the Bible, and it plays different roles in the Bible, like I already said. So one of the roles is the abundance. Like when you have yogurt, it's a representation that you have an abundance, that you maybe have so much milk that you can produce a different kind of food from that milk. So that's really cool in that way too. And then even in those Isaiah passages, Isaiah is predominantly when the Israelites are in exile. So they are in a land where they don't have abundance, but God is making them that promise through the example of yogurt and honey, that they will have the abundance still, even in the land of ravaged, a ravaged kind of land. Another example is the hospitality, like I just spoke to. Yogurt is a representation of that in the Bible. So Abraham serves it to the lords in a lordly bowl, and I've even done this in my own life, not in a lordly bowl, but I've done this where it's like I didn't really have a lot of food, but I did have homemade yogurt, or I had this Greek yogurt or whatever in the fridge, and I served it to someone because they were hungry, and I was like, I have yogurt, and it filled them up and satisfied their need in that moment. So I highly recommend you serving yogurt to your guests when they are over. And then the other big one in our modern day times that yogurt serves a role in is nutrition. And people back in the day didn't have to worry about nutrition as much as we do now, and they just didn't simply have the knowledge as much as we do now. So I was kind of reading into the biblical parts of yogurt, and I can link a website link in the description as well that I found to be kind of interesting from someone who is Jewish and was writing about the Jewish history with yogurt. But then I was looking into, okay, well, this is still modern food that we eat a lot. Like everyone eats yogurt. Even if you're eating like almond yogurt, you're still eating yogurt. And now we have a lot more information on the health benefits of yogurt, and I'm just going to put them out there just in case you're watching this video and you don't know the health benefits of yogurt. The one that is most popular is the probiotics of yogurt. Whether you eat Greek yogurt or regular yogurt, which is going to be a little bit more runny or liquidy in its consistency, the yogurt has probiotics because it's gone through the fermentation process, which if you are just buying yogurt at the store, you need to make sure that it actually says on the label, it'll say like active cultures. So you need to look for that on the label to make sure that you're getting real yogurt with real probiotics in it. Probiotics are huge because they work at restoring gut health. Now, I'm no doctor, but I am a very enthusiastic nutrition person. And I'm not even a dietitian, but I've done a lot of research on nutrition and food. And Anyway, it's really good for the gut. If you are interested in learning more about gut health, I highly recommend the couple books, but the main book that I would recommend is learning about GAPS diet, which talks a lot about gut health. So if you have good gut health, I think it was Aristotle, maybe, I don't know, I'd have to double check on that, who said that all health stems from the gut. So yeah, it's really important, and you can get that through eating yogurt, at least a part of that through eating yogurt. But another big one on yogurt that I found in an article, and I found in several articles, but I'll link one article website in the description also, is that the FDA recently, and I don't know how recently this was, they released a declaration, I guess, that says that if you eat yogurt, 3 cups of yogurt, so it would be 3 cups of yogurt, or like a half a cup of yogurt every day of the week, or 3 times a week or something. You basically have to eat yogurt 3 times a week. And most of us probably eat a serving size of about half a cup. So you're getting pretty close to what the FDA is saying. And if you eat this certain amount of yogurt, then several things happen to your health. Not only the probiotic gut thing, but they are now saying that yogurt companies can label in a certain way that eating yogurt a certain amount of time a week will help in reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes, which is really interesting because sometimes when people think about yogurt, they think about sugar because of the whey and the lactose and whatnot, but it is a real thing. It can help reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. It doesn't mean that if you already have diabetes that it's going to cure your diabetes, but if you're on the brink of diabetes or you're just trying to watch your health or whatever, it can help in that way. So that's really cool. The other thing that they are finding with yogurt, any kind of yogurt, whether it's Greek or regular, is that it helps reduce the risk of osteoporosis and of cardiovascular disease. So it's helping a lot with your body, just eating yogurt with, real fruit, maybe some granola, or preferably some roasted nuts like pecans or walnuts. And honey, even real maple syrup, like all of those things. Now don't go overboard, but all of those things added to your yogurt are going to make it tasty and are going to help your health in so many tremendous ways. So it's funny to me that everyone has a preference on how they eat their yogurt, but they even have a preference on Greek versus regular, store-bought versus homemade, and I have both because it happens in my own household. And the biggest difference between the two is the straining of the whey. So I actually have a short video that I will post in the description as well. It is my recipe that I got from Nourishing Traditions, which is a book, and I've been making yogurt for so many years now. Like, I don't know, probably at least 12 years now. So this is a pretty foolproof recipe, and I am sorry if it doesn't work. Message me if it doesn't work, or comment if it doesn't work, because it works every time for me. And the key is to have, again, an active culture. So you can buy that at the store. I always just use previous yogurt And check out that short if you are interested in learning how to make your own homemade yogurt. And that is just regular yogurt. So it's going to be a little bit more runny, and it's going to have a lot of whey, and it's going to be delicious, a little bit sweeter. And regular yogurt also has a lot more calcium too. So it tends to be more favored by kids because my son like eats yogurt every day. He's like, I want a bowl of yogurt for breakfast, lunch, and whatever. So he loves the yogurt that I'm making, and I give it to him because it's a great source of calcium, and he can't really tolerate milk, but he can tolerate the fermented form of milk, which is yogurt. So it's a little bit sweeter, it's higher in calcium, but it is also going to be higher in sugar because of all of that whey, which has the lactose part of milk. It also has the minerals in milk, which is why there's more calcium. Now, the Greek yogurt has way higher protein content in it. So if you're looking for bodybuilding, or you're looking for a longevity snack or something to pull you through the day or lunch or whatever, the Greek yogurt is going to be good in that way. It's lower in sugar because that whey has been drained. So that's how you make Greek yogurt. You make regular yogurt, and then you drain the whey, and then the yogurt becomes thicker, and then you have like a cup of, or not even a cup, you have like a jar of whey, and then you have your jar of thick yogurt left over. And higher in protein, lower in sugar, so it's good for people too who are also trying to watch out for their sugar intake, but it is also going to be lower in the calcium because, the calcium and the minerals, because the whey has been drained. But needless to say, whether you're eating Greek or regular, you still get all those health benefits. It's kind of good to have both, because if you have a guest or whatever in your home, just like Abraham did in his tent, you can offer them either, and you won't disappoint them either way. And yeah, the other thing that's really cool about yogurt, just in my opinion, is that the preparation of yogurt has not changed over time. Like, it just has to be heated. The milk just has to be heated, and then it has to sit and ferment, and that's it. So check out that short that I'm going to link if you're interested. And if you want to make Greek yogurt, then make your regular yogurt, like I said, and just strain the whey. So you will need some kind of strainer, whether it's cheesecloth or whatever, and strain the whey from the yogurt, and you'll get a thick Greek yogurt, and you'll have a lot of whey, which the whey is really good. You can add it to smoothies, you can add it to electrolyte drinks because it has all those minerals in it. You could water your garden with it because it has all those minerals. You're going to add that back to your soil, so water your garden, your house plants, your compost, whatever. But whatever you do, don't put it down the drain, because that is a rich source of minerals right there. So anyway, I hope that you've learned a lot about yogurt. I hope you've learned a lot about the biblical history of yogurt, which is just so fascinating to me. And if you want to try making your own yogurt, be sure to check out that short that I'm going to link in the description.